I'm sorry. It's a common phrase we've all heard and said before. But what exactly does it mean? Now, in most contexts, I'm sorry has two main definitions. The first one expresses a feeling of sorrow for someone else. It's what you might say if you find out someone else is going through something difficult, like they're sick or their dog dies. You're not their doctor, probably, and you can't bring their dog back from the dead. So you can't really do anything except say, I'm sorry. The second definition expresses a feeling of remorse or regret for something that you have done. It's what you might say after you hurt someone and you feel bad for doing so. This second meaning is commonly used in apologies, which in this context is defined as an expression of acknowledgement and or remorse for one's own actions. But saying I'm sorry isn't inherently an apology. An apology isn't just an expression. It's an expression of the feeling of remorse, an expression of that acknowledgement. A true apology is dependent on the genuine feeling of remorse or an actual acknowledgement. Otherwise, they're just empty words. Both of these meanings are fine, and they have their own place in expressing emotions to other people. The issue arises when the meanings are confused. I'm sorry you feel that way. This phrase only makes sense when you're using that first definition, because you're expressing sympathy for someone else's situation or negative emotions. This is a bit redundant though, because simply saying, I'm sorry, already implies that the sympathy is directed toward their situation or feelings. However, some people, and I'm not naming names, use this phrase when they're apologizing, which theoretically should use the second definition. But this is illogical because you can't feel regret for someone else's emotions. You can only feel regret for something that you have done. If you really wanted to work that second definition into this phrase, you'd say something like, I'm sorry I made you feel that way. Otherwise, you're just expressing sympathy for someone else's situation. And there's nothing wrong with expressing sympathy for someone's feelings or situation, if you had nothing to do with it. But if you played a part in their situation or emotions, and all you have to express is sympathy, then you haven't apologized. I've heard several people use that phrase when they are a part of the reason that someone is experiencing pain. And I've always found it rather frustrating. So I wanted to throw in my 2 cents on why it really shouldn't be used in that context, unless a genuine apology has already been made. I think a lot of people like to use this line when they've hurt someone, but they don't feel bad. They get to say the words, I'm sorry, without having to pretend that they feel remorseful. Personally, I get it. I have absolutely been that person. It's so much easier to just say that phrase instead of having to do any self-reflection. As a kid, all of my peers and I were simply told to say, I'm sorry, when we did something wrong. We were never taught to critically reflect on our past, recognize our faults, and then communicate our discoveries. Now, this is just my experience, but as far as I'm aware, it's a common one. This is why I think emotional intelligence classes should be taught in schools, but I digress. It's really not easy to take a look at your past actions and perceive them as wrong or capable of hurting another person. I want to see myself as a good person, someone who doesn't cause harm to others intentionally or accidentally. And viewing my past actions as wrong or hurtful destroys that whole image. Still, I think there's a lot of power in letting go of that desire and admitting your faults. Oh. On the other hand, I think some people just don't recognize that phrase isn't how to express a proper apology. Perhaps they do truly feel remorseful and are attempting to express that, but just in the wrong way. Wow, Joshua.
Oh my God.
Thank you so much for dropping that wisdom on us. There are two definitions for the phrase, I'm sorry, and only one of them works in the context of a true apology. But why have I given you 5.5 minutes of my sweet, delicious time? What's the moral of the story?
Oh, you just summarized my main points. I was actually just about to do that.
You're welcome. Well, the moral of the story is we should be clearer to the people that we hurt. It's everyone's first time at life, and I don't know if you've noticed or not, but it's not particularly easy. So let's not give people another thing to worry about. And if we do, we should reflect and acknowledge our mistakes. It's okay, we all make them. Wow, I guess you're right.
Obviously.
So what do we do now? So if you've ever been the reason for someone else's pain and you just told them, I'm sorry you feel that way, it's okay. I forgive you. As long as you apologize. Oh, me? Okay, well, I'm sorry you feel that way. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight?